But we are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update, and Spurs' name has been dragged through the rumour mill over the last 24 hours, and we are here.
Last 24 hours or 24 years?
Probably 100 years, but nah, in the last 24 hours we've had so many links regarding this player, that player, and we're going to sit here and go through all of them. But first and foremost, congratulations are in order for Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall, who have both been named as finalists for the Golden Boy 2026 award. The inaugural winner actually was Rafa van der Vaart, so we got previous of, well, he wasn't playing for Spurs at that moment in time, but still. Other players of ours that have been nominated in the past have been Matisse Tell in 22, 23 and 24, Odebear in 24, Javi Simons in 23, Destiny Adogi in 22, Kulusevski in 2020, Bentancur in 2017, along with Dominic Solanke in the same year as well. But you're looking at the other finalists. You've got Pau Kubarasi at Barcelona, you've got Dean Hyson, Desiree Doué, Kenan Yildiz, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Warren Zaire-Emery, Arda Güler, Franco Mastantuono, however you pronounce that, Ethan Nwaneri, Jorel Hato, Giovanni Quenda, Estevao, Lenny Yoro, Seni Mayulu of PSG, Nico O'Reilly, Elise Ben Seguir, Victor Froholt, Lucas Berger, Archie Gray, and Mamadou Sarr of Strasbourg. And there have also been a couple of wild cards of Joe Bellingham, Giovanni Leone, Rodrigo Mora, Federico Pio Esposito, and Alexander Stankovic. I mean,
in good company, you could say.
Very good company, but I think there's one clear winner there, and that's Desiree Doué. He's definitely going to win that.
I mean, what season he had last season with PSG. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the other options. Yeah, he's a standout candidate, isn't he?
Champions League winner.
Regular, plays every game for them. What a player. And I can't believe we nearly had him. We were so close to get him over the line. But look, credit to Bergvall and Gray, especially Bergvall. Obviously, it goes to show what an amazing season he had last season. Gray, look, didn't have the best season, but played out of position, played a lot more than maybe he expected, and did, was impressive in certain aspects of that as well last season. So credit to them. Shows what two unbelievable talents we have, because I think a lot of those names on that list are going to go very far in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have already gone far.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you look at players like Warren Zaire-Emery. I mean, he is balling out for PSG in the middle of the park. You look at the other PSG striker in Mayulu, with the injuries that they've had recently, he's just come in and hit the ground running. Like, PSG have just got, they just seem to have some sort of conveyor belt of talent at this moment in time. But
it's amazing what billions and billions of pounds.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Well, ENIC 2.0, let's see what we got. But that's the Golden Boy Awards. Next up, let's talk about some potential transfers. And Caught Offside are claiming that Lyon's Malick Fofana is a subject of a 5-way transfer war. The following clubs will all be willing to battle each other for his signature, and that is Inter Milan, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United and Tottenham. He was linked with Spurs, I think, in the summer when Lyon got relegated and then got reinstated back in the league, and all that madness was going on in the French league. Yeah, as you can see, 2 goals, 1 assist in 7 games so far for them. What do you think about Malick Fofana?
Yeah, I know he was highly sought after last season, and when, as you said, Lyon were going through all those troubles, he was the one who everyone thought he's definitely one of the higher names on the list to leave. Good, very fast winger, good at dribbling. Obviously young, but he's got a lot of potential, and a lot of people thinking he's going to be a very, very big player. Again, I mean, we have Odebear and Tell, so adding another young potential winger, I don't know if it's the smartest move. If we're going to sign a winger, you want someone more proven. So it doesn't make too much sense to me, if I'm being honest. But if we believe this guy's a lot better than what we got, then maybe. But I don't know if that's for sure at the moment.
I think, obviously he's been, starting for Lyon. This is his 2nd season starting for Lyon in the French league. Has already got caps for Belgium as well. I think he's got a goal for Belgium off the back of it. Is it safe to say that he's had more experience than Odebear and Tell?
In his career?
Yeah.
No,
why not?
What more experience?
As in starting for his club and also getting minutes for his national team.
A few minutes. I don't think that means much. But Tell's got Champions League experience. He's been scoring goals in Champions League before. I wouldn't. Odebear's obviously had a season in the Premier League. He's had 2 seasons. Well, last season was decimated with injury, but he had a season last season. So, I mean, if it's not much more, if more.
Does Malick Fofana not have European experience as well?
For Lyon, probably.
Yeah.
Europa League.
Yeah, 10 games in the Europa League, 6 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah,
that's decent.
Good player.
All right, well, that's Malick Fofana.
You want to sign him?
I don't know too much about him. I've never really seen him play, so it's hard for me to make that judgment. Next up, we're going to talk about Antoine Semenyo. TalkSport says that Bournemouth forward Antoine Semenyo does have a release clause in his contract, but the Cherries are keeping it under wraps.
Another secret release clause.
Because they want to hang on to the 25-year-old. However, it is thought to be in excess of £25 million. The Ghana international has been linked to Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham and Manchester United.
25. Obviously, it's going to be more than 25.
75, sorry.
75.
Yeah, 75.
Okay, that makes more sense. If we find out what it is, don't bid exactly that clause, okay, guys? Don't want to be on the end of another potential lawsuit. Obviously, we know we've said on this channel many times how much Semenyo we rate him, what a season he's having. But yeah, in terms of that release clause, excess of 75 million. They're obviously going to protect their asset. They're going to want to sell it. If you want to let him go, it's going to have to be a very high figure. So, what are we thinking? 85.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
What were they saying in the summer? They saying that they didn't want to sell for anything less than...
I think they rejected bids for 70, didn't they?
I think it was like 60, 65 maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, I mean, if a bid for 70, 75 million comes in for Antoine Semenyo, surely you're accepting that. Like, that is humongous money.
It's big money.
Especially for a club like Bournemouth as well.
Yeah, but they've just taken big money for a lot of other players. So there's no real need to sell unless it's a price they really want. But maybe
it's also a case of Semenyo as well. Like, if he really has the desire to leave, like, strongly.
But he just signed a deal. I guess
I know that
in football, but
you know that. You know, a year is a long time. Like, if he like is desperate to leave in the summer, and he makes that clear to Bournemouth, surely there's a deal to be done.
Yeah, there's always a deal to be done with these clubs. Bournemouth know that they'll never want to hang on to an unhappy player because they back themselves in the market to find a replacement. They always have done. Like Brighton, if the price is right, you can get him. But when it comes to Brighton, especially, the price is usually steep, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same with Bournemouth.
Yeah, I just wonder how much he's actually going to end up going for, because I feel like
it depends how well he keeps doing this season.
Yeah, I just feel like 100 million. Like, is anyone actually going to put 100 million down on the table for Semenyo? I don't know.
Depends if he gets depends how many goals he gets, and it depends how well he does. If he ends the season as, you know, in team of the season and one of the best players in the league, then maybe.
It's crazy to think about, like 100 million for Semenyo. Like, I know
went for 100.
It's true. Grealish did go for 100, but also you had English tax on that as well.
Yeah, it's true.
You're looking at the likes of like Cunha and Mbeumo, who, you know, you wouldn't say it wouldn't be crazy to think like Semenyo might have a similar season to what Mbeumo had last year. And what's he gone for? 65 million.
Yeah.
So, but I think he had a contract situation as well where he was going into the last year of his contract. So, yeah, it's all swings and roundabouts.
Cunha had a release clause.
Cunha had a release clause. So, I don't know. I feel like between 70 and 80 million would be enough to get Semenyo out.
Well, I don't know if the release clause is going to be as high as 100.
Yeah. We don't know what the release is. It's secret. It's under wraps. And let's just hope it doesn't end up in Spurs getting taken to court. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I do think this is probably going to be his last season at Bournemouth. And it's just about who puts that money on the table and how much that money actually is. Because I just feel like between 70 and 80 million is kind of where it's going to be at.
Yeah, and I think it will be his last season. I think he put a release clause there on purpose.
Yeah. So that's Semenyo. Let's talk about Harry Kane again, as there's a report that says that Tottenham are preparing a blockbuster move to bring Harry Kane back to North London from Bayern Munich next summer. Spurs are prepared to break the bank to secure Kane's signature, covering his hefty release clause and matching his substantial wages. The club would see the move as a real statement of intent with their new sporting director team of Fabio Paratici and Johan Lang.
Maybe watching Ben Simeone.
Yeah, I think so. But with Harry Kane, I feel like Spurs are going to try and get this deal done. I feel like this is like the classic move of trying to get the fans on board, where when ENIC first, because they've got previous of it as well, when ENIC first came in with Daniel Levy, they straight away sacked George Graham and brought Glenn Hoddle, who was a club legend at the time, and that was seen as a move just to, like, you know, bring the fans on board straight away. And obviously this is a different style of ENIC now, different people at the helm, but I feel like they are gonna try to bring Harry Kane back to the club.
100%. I think they're already thinking about it. They're probably already trying to put plans in motion, but sometimes things are not possible. We'll have to wait and see where Kane's head's at in the summer. Obviously, you've got a World Cup coming up in the summer as well, so I don't think anything happens before that. It's going to have to wait till after that is concluded. I think there's, you know, we have to see where Tottenham are in a year's time. Are we balling under Frank? Are we going to be in Europa League next season? Are we in Champions League? A lot depends on that.
We have to be in the Champions League for it to even be a starter of a conversation.
So we can have all these plans. It's all well and good having these plans, but we won't know until later in the season whether it's actually a real option.
Yeah, I mean, England, every international break they've been training at Hotspur Way. You don't think when Harry Kane walks into Hotspur Way, they're not saying, "Come on, Harry, you know you want it. You know you want it."
100%. Of course they're trying to keep him sweet, put plans in motion, but I'd love it to happen. I think what a season he's having. He's getting a goal contribution every 39 minutes. It's ridiculous.
He's saying, like, he's in the best form of his life right now, and it's hard to argue against it. I mean, like, he's already got 21 goals.
It's madness.
21 goals. We're mid-October. How many is he going to get? Like,
insane.
Well, remember that calendar year where he got like 50, 55, whatever. Like, he's going to smash that, surely.
And also, you look at other strikers like Lewandowski and Benzema. Even Vardy. He was going until his late 30s. Like, I think Kane takes such good care of himself. I wouldn't be worried about him declining or anything in the next couple of years at least.
Yeah, I think you can sign him up on a 3 to 4 year contract and he'll 100% break Shearer's record.
For sure. But look, the quotes yesterday, pouring cold water on it again. Yeah. So we'll see.
The thing is, I don't read too much into any of these quotes because, like, he's not going to exactly come out and say, like, yeah, I really want to go back to Tottenham, whilst, like, he's, like, not even barely got going with Bayern in this season yet. You know what I mean? We're in mid-October. We've only played 2 games in the group stage of the Champions League. Like, what else is he supposed to say?
No, I agree with you. There's no need to make headlines when everything's going well.
And he's not, like, apart from that time where he did that interview with Gary Neville, like, he's a guy that likes to stay out of the headlines. So, yeah, I don't think you'll hear or see any murmurings from Harry Kane.
But one thing I would say, he didn't have to say what he said, what was it, 2 weeks ago when he said, when I first left England, I thought I'm definitely coming back, and now I'm not so sure. He didn't have to say that. He
didn't have to say it, but still, I still don't read too much into it. Like, a lot of things can change over the course of time, and right now, his full focus is on Bayern Munich and England, and there's no need for any focus to be anywhere else. Like, he is fully bought into that Bayern project. He's fully immersed and involved in the Bundesliga, and that's where his head is at right now. But that might not be where his head is at in the summer.
I agree with you. But we shouldn't put all our eggs in this basket.
Oh, for sure. That's for sure. But it would be a monumental signing if we could get Harry Kane through the door in the summer. But it's a long way away. So let's see what happens from now until then. A couple more. First of all, we're going to talk about a player called Lautaro Rivero. To be honest, never heard of him before looking into him today. There's been a couple of different publications talking about him. First one is our obviously ever reliable and favourite Fijajes. And they say that Tottenham are reportedly interested in signing River Plate defender Lautaro Rivero. Tottenham want a young defender to reinforce the defence and have identified Rivero as a serious option, having been impressed by his recent performances. However, the North London club aren't the only party interested in the Argentine, as Atletico Madrid are keen on securing his services next year. Rivero has an £87 million release clause in his current contract, which is set to run until 2028, and River Plate are in no rush to sell him anytime soon. He has just recently received a call up to the Argentine national side as well, and made his debut against Puerto Rico in the last international break. A River Plate journalist, Sebastian Srur, says that Spurs scouts did travel to Argentina to watch the player live in action, and they were impressed. But however, River do remain inflexible in its stance on his release clause, which is €100 million, £87 million. And another publication out in Spain says that the centre-back is already causing a sensation in Europe and focus on Tottenham and the Atletico interest. Journalist Maximiliano Bezzoni reports that Diego Simeone is following the defender and seems to be leading the pursuit for the defender. So he is a left-footed, left centre-back that obviously we've been asking for the last couple of years. He seems to be really hitting the ground running for River Plate this year after coming back from loan. And look, you don't pique Diego Simeone's interest for being not a great player. However, they did sign Clement Longley, so make of that what you will.
And I'm sure Rivero may be putting in a good word. Maybe he knows him. Maybe he's seen him in action. He's like, you got to get this guy. Get him next to me. He's going to be amazing. Look, it's a player we need. It's a position we need. I know we have Danto and Dragoshin waiting in the wing, and Takai even waiting in the wings at the moment. Vuskovic as well.
Ashley Phillips.
But we still don't quite have a left-footed one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one that's still outstanding. I don't know if he can play left-back as well or not. Obviously, I don't see us paying anywhere near what they're asking. But maybe that's just to ward off interest. I don't know how seriously we're interested in this guy, and I don't really know how good he actually is. But if he's true, we've sent scouts to look at him, and we're impressed, then maybe there's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, obviously, like I said, I've never heard of this player before today. He does seem like he's starting to gather some interest from around the top European clubs. It'll be interesting if Spurs do try and get in there to steal a march on the kind of opposition for his transfer, and if Rivero can give the club any sort of insight into the player as well. But it's interesting to think about when you're talking about the defenders that we have at the club that you just mentioned, with potential of Vuskovic coming back in. And by the way, Vuskovic just he hit the post from a free kick for, was it Croatia under-21s, had a captain's armband on. Like, this guy is just going from strength to strength. Like, what can't this guy, Luka Vuskovic, do? It's just mad. So you assume that he's going to come in next season to be part of the first team. Like, surely there's got to be there's got to be some exit in our centre-backs. Like, you got to think Ashley Phillips, we're probably going to cash in on him at some point. And surely one of Danso and Dragoshin, we're going to have to cash in on one of them as well.
Might have to go on loan. Yeah,
especially if we're going to have to, if we want to bring in a left side centre back as well.
100%. Obviously, it's unsustainable the amount of centre backs we have, so something's going to have to give. We'll see how Dragoshin does on return from injury. Maybe even Danso, you never know. Maybe we'll feel like, look, he's done well, but time to get a bit of money for him and upgrade. Yeah, that could also be possible.
Yeah, if I gave you the option to sell one of Danso or Dragoshin, which one are you selling?
Well, Dragoshin at the moment.
Yeah. But, I mean, Dragoshin can be very good for Frank, I believe.
Yeah, he could be, but he's off the back of an ACL and he hasn't exactly impressed when he's been playing. So if you're asking me to make a decision now, I'm picking Danso, but that obviously could be different.
Maybe not on past performances, but on like the skill set that they do have and maybe their how you think they can do in a Frank system or under Frank.
I don't see what does Dragoshin have over Danso?
Yeah, fair point. Maybe he's got better long throws.
Yeah, maybe.
Another centre-back that we're linked with is Mario Gila of Lazio, as Korthoff says that Tottenham are amongst the sides considering a January move for Lazio centre-half Mario Gila, who is apparently a serious candidate as Spurs look to strengthen the defence. Spurs aren't the only team keeping track of the 25-year-old, as Palace, Bournemouth, Everton and Brighton have all said to are keeping close tabs on the defender. With Bournemouth and Brighton even having said to have made contacts with his representatives already as they search for defensive reinforcements. I mean, it's a good sign if Bournemouth and Brighton are after you, I'll tell you that.
Probably means a good player. I mean, I'm looking at his stats. He seems to be very good on the ball, so that's quite interesting. Clearly, he's one who's very comfortable ball-playing defender. So maybe that's why we've taken a look at him. But I can't, seems to play in Romero's position, so I don't know.
Another one. So we'll have six right-footed centre-backs.
Doesn't make too much sense to me.
And last but not least, the Bleacher Report are reporting that Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool and Tottenham are all interested in acquiring the services of Kefren Thuram. Juventus consider him untouchable as they rejected all advances for the young midfielder in the summer. However, Don Fabio is back in the hot seat. Don Fabio, we know he likes to do a deal with Juventus. Could it be done?
That's why people say about Yildiz as well. Like all of a sudden, because Don Fabio said we can get anyone we want from Juventus now. I don't think that's quite how it works. But
Thuram, Yildiz, Vlahovic.
Get them all. I think Thuram's a really good player, very technical. He's like big physical, but really technical. Those Thuram genes, man, they're very strong footballing genes, 100%. Him and Marcus doing bits at the moment. Yeah, look, he's a centre mid. I don't know if he's a 6. I don't know quite his best position. Maybe I think he's like more of an 8.
Yeah,
like a driving midfielder, very good at dribbling, very technical. I doubt we go for him in January. I just can't see us spending big money on a number 8 in Jan. Doesn't make too much sense for me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no, because I think he's a top quality player, and I think he could go, very far in the game. Very far, in my opinion. I think he's a top quality player, and I wouldn't say no to him, but I would prefer to kind of put my attentions elsewhere in the forward line. That's where we need to replenish. Left winger, striker potentially. These are the positions that we desperately need. We need cover at fullback as well. However, though, if a player of that quality comes available, or you get the sense that you can get him, you probably should do it.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's available if they call him untouchable.
Yeah, every Juventus player is available now. We got Don Fabio.
Of course, yeah. There's a deal to be done when Don Fabio's around.
But that's it. By the way, I didn't say anything about yesterday, but I am just delighted Don Fabio is back at the club, and I like this little dynamic that they got going with him and Johan Lang, with what Fabio is going to be dealing with, what he does best, and that's the transfer window and negotiations and using his best contacts in the game. And Johan Lang, with his expertise with younger players, working with the academies and kind of overseeing kind of everything. I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think when I looked at how they're going to divvy up the responsibilities, I was like, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly how we all kind of saw it. The only thing I question is, why is Langer in charge of academy, and then Paratici's in charge of loans and pathways? That doesn't make too much sense to me. I think might as well give that to Lang if he's in charge of the academy. But we'll see how that plays out. But I think Don Fabio being back is great. I
think, like they've said, it's a collaborative effort, right? Everything is still going to be a collaborative effort. So in my mind, in that sense of like pathways and loans, obviously it's going to be a collaborative effort, right? So it's going to be up to Don Paratici to negotiate with the clubs to get the right loans and to get the clubs, but they'll be talking about it and they'll be making the decision together.
Okay, maybe more pathways I'm questioning. Like, I don't know, I just thought if you're in charge of the academy, that should be your responsibility to be looking at that. But yeah, look, I'm sure they'll be working together on everything, and I just hope no one's ego gets in the way, and they'll manage to work well together. No one steps on anyone's toes, and it's a good partnership rather than one which they pull each other apart, which we'll have to wait and see.
I've never seen a club with 2 sporting directors, though.
Yeah, it's a bit rare, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe that's the way the world's going, but who knows? But anyway, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories we've spoken about today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.